Classified documents discovered in President Biden's possession from his VP days. Coming up on Kristi Leigh's Daily Brief, hear why the timing of this discovery is suspicious. Plus, President Biden is building a border wall after all. It just happens to be a barrier around his house. The House votes to repeal funding for 87,000 IRS agents, but is it much ado about nothing? Speaking of nothing getting done, find out which state is calling for the RNC chair to get removed because of a lack of progress. Starting today with the classified docs found in President Biden's possession. No big deal, right? He's the president, after all. The problem is the classified documents are from his VP days, found in his former private office, and just months after Mar-a-Lago was raided for President Trump being accused of holding on to classified docs. Reports say his attorneys found the documents in a locked closet as they were preparing to vacate the office space at the Penn Biden Center, which the president used from mid-2017 until he began the 2020 campaign. The National Archives were informed of the discovery and took possession of those documents. In September 2022, Biden said the discovery of top secret documents at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate raised concerns that sensitive data had been compromised and called it irresponsible. Now that sensitive data has been found in Biden's possession, President Trump had his turn to react, saying on Truth Social, "When is the FBI going to raid the many homes of Joe Biden, perhaps even the White House? These documents were definitely not declassified." The Associated Press reports the DOJ is reviewing potentially classified docs at Biden Center. Other mainstream news, more appropriately referred to as the Biden administration PR team, were quick to spin the story. MSNBC host Jonathan Lemire wants to make sure you know this is different than the Mar-a-Lago document raid frenzy. It was just a wee little bit of classified material, and the documents were turned over right away. Does it matter the amount if classified docs are a threat to national security and turned over right away? Really? If he took them after he left the vice presidency, that was early 2017, so that's nearly 6 years. And the glaring difference, which should make this more serious, not less, is that Biden was VP. He didn't have a right to declassify anything, like President Donald Trump. A real journalist should be asking more questions, like why were the Biden classified docs found just before the midterms, but we're just now finding out about this? Could it be an effort for the DOJ to look less partisan, just before the new House Select Committee is promising to investigate the politicization of the department? And what are the national security implications of being found at the Penn Biden Center?
Actually, Penn may be a national security event. We know you're very impressed your nephew got in, but Penn as an institution takes an awful lot of money from the Chinese Communist Party. Not making that up. In recent years, Penn has received more than $50 million from anonymous Chinese donors. So the question is, were those donors peering at the classified documents, the national security secrets that Joe Biden had been stashing at the fake think tank that Penn set up for him? How much access did they have exactly to these documents? We're very much looking forward to the Washington Post expose on that.
Biden just visited our southern border 2 years into his presidency, and now he's a fan of a border wall. No, not that border wall. A barrier around his Delaware beach house. Daily Mail reports construction began last week for privacy fencing surrounding President Joe Biden's home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. The entire side of Biden's beach home is walled off by tall white fencing broken up by gray stone pillars as workers continue to build up the barrier. The project price tag is about $500,000. So who's footing the bill? Well, you are. It's funded by taxpayers. Biden gets a wall while stopping construction of a border wall and demanding Arizona remove its makeshift border wall. Ohio Rep. Jim Jordan tweets, "So walls work at Joe Biden's beach house, but not the southern border?" The new Republican-led House has passed a bill to repeal funding for 87,000 IRS agents. Seems like a victory, especially for small business owners. But as Just the News points out, the bill is likely dead on arrival in the Democrat-led Senate. Even though dethroned from the speaker position, Nancy Pelosi is already attacking the repeal, saying it's to protect corporate America and ultra-wealthy individuals, as if she is not ultra-wealthy. And with such a small percentage of Americans qualifying as ultra-wealthy, why do we need 87,000 IRS agents? Why did Democrats spearhead stricter reporting for transactions less than $600? Some Republicans fear the multitude of new IRS agents would disproportionately target low-income earners. But again, was this just more theater, knowing that the bill won't move forward? Reminder, 27 Republicans voted in favor of the $1.7 trillion omnibus that includes funding for IRS expansion. More fiscally conservative Republicans continue to lash out at the establishment sect. The Alabama GOP has no confidence in Ronna Romney McDaniel and calls for her removal as RNC chair, according to National File. Its steering committee has officially announced that the state GOP won't be backing McDaniel and wants a new pro-America chairman. McDaniel complaints include massive electoral failures and the liberalization of the Republican Party's national agenda. The Texas GOP has already called for her removal as RNC chair, and a supermajority of Republican voters support her removal as well. McDaniel's challengers are attorney Harmeet Dillon and businessman Mike Lindell, best known for being the MyPillow CEO. So to sum up, media is trying to spin up defenses for classified docs being discovered in the then VP Biden's private office. No FBI raids of his home reported yet. Biden supports border security as long as it's his own home and funded by taxpayers. Are we seeing more GOP theater with the passing of a bill that will likely be dead on arrival in the Senate? And more Republicans are raging against the machine, demanding the establishment RNC chair be removed. To learn more, be sure to go to AmericanFaith.com and subscribe to our daily newsletter. For American Faith, news you can trust, I'm Kristi.